Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you the newest wonder kid coming out of Saudi Arabia, and his name is Rw9. He's kindly sent me a couple of very impressive rank replays of his so that we can finally feature him on my channel. He's been on my radar for a while. Unfortunately, our schedules have not lined up yet, so I've yet to have him in a show match, although that is something I'd love to do, because this guy really is an incredible player that you guys have to be aware of if you're a fan of the one scene, if you're a fan of high-level Rocket League. So here he is against Moxie, who should need no introduction at this point. He is the best 1v1 player from France, and he's certainly one of the best in Europe, and indeed the world. One of the only players who's had a good record, who's had the ability to contend with some of the other top players in the world recently. And let's see how Rw9 gets on against him in this rank game. Now, I'm not trying to trick anyone into thinking that Rw9 is simply levels above Moxie or Rawas, who will watch Rw9 play after this. Obviously, everybody in ranked, if all the top level ranked players are active, take games off each other, and you know, Moxie's always sitting close to rank 1, so I'm sure that he's got a winning record against Rw9 if they have played multiple times. He'd certainly be the favourite if they matched up in a show match, but I think this is a good example just to show you guys what Rw9 is capable of. And I think one of the things that impresses me most about him is that, unlike a lot of the other super mechanical youngsters that are coming up recently, he's got really good game knowledge, and he's actually scored off 2 low 50-50s here. Bit of more of a mind game on that second one against Moxie. He doesn't just rely on speed, he doesn't just rely on mechanical ability. He's very smart with how he moves about the field, and I'm very impressed with his 1v1 IQ, even at such a young age. Great pre-jump there to deny Moxie's high shot. He might just rip this first time, indeed he does, and it will just sneak past Moxie. Good read on the boost, and you know, pretty much every goal so far, all 3 of the goals we've seen, have been positional goals, they've been strategical goals, and he's even going to mix in a little fake kickoff here on the diagonal spawn. So yeah, you guys who've watched me for a long time, even those of you who have only started watching my channel recently, you'll know that I absolutely love mind games. Okay, that's a bit lucky. It's no way that he meant to double that off the bar, but rewarded for the aggression there with a 4th goal against Moxie. Rw9, and Moxie now reversing into the net, so some cheeky kickoff strats by both players. That was not going to work out so well though. Unlike Dark, who does fake kickoffs on that spawn fairly regularly, Moxie didn't really fake that one. He just made it blatantly obvious that he wasn't going for the ball, and Rw9 chipped it at him and took the control of the possession. Now he's accidentally own goal there. I think he could have knocked that into the back corner, but he accidentally knocked it into his own net. So far from a perfect game here, a bit of luck at both ends of the field, bad luck and good luck for Rw9. But you know, in 1v1 and in Rocket League, you do make your own luck at the end of the day. No pre-jump there from Rw9. Gets absolutely nothing done now. He must have missed a boost. Let's go back and look again. Okay, might have actually had a controller issue there or something, because he did just, yeah, he just drive in a straight line. So that wasn't so much a misplay as either a disconnect or a controller issue. We'll skip to the next kickoff anyway, now that we've seen what's happened. Yeah, Rw9, he's told me that for the next year, he's, I think, still 13 years old. If he's not 13, he would have just turned 14. I know he's very young in the one scene, despite his talent and his ability. That's clear for all to see. He's told me that he's super motivated to grind for the next year. Of course, turning 15 at the moment is the big age for all Rocket League players. It's when you can start playing RLCS. It's when you can start competing for the big money. He is incredibly motivated to use this 1 year that he's got in the run-up to that to practice as much as possible, keep improving, and see just how good he can get. But it'll be pretty obvious to you guys who are familiar with him, and those of you who are watching him for the first time, that his potential is very, very high. Now, there's been many players over the years who have debuted on my channel, many players over the years who I've featured on my channel, of course, new players and old players alike, and you can just tell with some players the way that they move and the way that they play whether or not they've got what it takes to exceed their current ability. And I can just see that when I watch Rw9 play. He doesn't rely on, like I said, just ball chasing and pure mechanics, which some players do. He's got a real intelligence with how he moves and how he positions, and I love to see that. I love to see the mind games, love to see this strategy. It's why 1v1 has been such an interesting game mode to me ever since Rocket League began, ever since Rocket League esports took off. the different styles that you can have in 1v1. But I especially do love to see that focus on strategy coming out of a young mechanical player. Now, funnily enough, and this will probably be something you guys are aware of, well, some of you, this is kind of how Moxie started off when he was first on the scene. Great save there by Rw9. In fact, he might get possession off this. He's chipped it across the box off the inside of his own post. But yeah, Moxie, very grounded when he first came onto the scene. He was extremely positional, very mind game focused. Rw9 maybe being a bit too cautious on that approach. He had the successful mind game past Moxie, but didn't get the finishing touch. Still able to put 7 goals into Moxie's defense in underneath 4 minutes. Very impressive stuff. And he's been outplaying for the majority of them. He's not been relying on Moxie's mistakes all that much. He's not been looking to surprise Moxie with flurries, although that's what he's going to do here. Reset is his, and it will go just high enough to force an awkward save, but nothing Moxie will be too upset about. He opts for the first time shot to keep Rw9 guessing. This is going to give Moxie a great possession play if he has control, which he doesn't actually. Rare to see. Yeah, what do you guys think in the comments? Is it easier for an ultra mechanical player? Of course, I know you're all going to be thinking dark when I say that, or just a full-on mechanical player to learn how to dial it back and how to be positional? Or is it easier for a player who just clearly has the mechanical ability but chooses to play a more strategical, more positional style like Rw9 does? I think it's pretty clear to see, and from other games and series I've seen from him, he is ridiculously mechanical, but stylistically prefers to just play a very, very calm game and just wait for opportunities where you can clearly outplay his opponents instead of taking risk after risk after risk. You know, I think neither one of those is necessarily better than the other. I like both. I'm a big fan of both. That's, like I said, one of the reasons why 1v1 has always been so interesting to me, is because different styles are viable. But Rw9 putting his to good use here, really giving Moxie a good game. A rare miss flick there from Moxie, still almost caused Rw9 some trouble. He pre-jumped, anticipating greatness, as you do when Moxie's about to flick the ball. Rw9 now cautiously keeps the ball up on 0 seconds. He wants the air dribble bump, and he gets it. Oh wow, Moxie might have actually saved this after the bump. Let's take another look from his POV. He bumped Rw9 into it. Well, phenomenal stuff by both players there. They both made contact mid-air, and into overtime we go. 7 goals each. Moxie's been far from his best with his flicks and his ground game, but he's still been able to keep Rw9 at bay for the majority of the game. Rw9, again, just trying to look for the opportunity to race to that corner boost. Moxie didn't give it to him. Another missed flick by Moxie. Well, this game really has gone wrong for him. The best flicker in the world. Even he has an off day. That's a great save off the underside of his crossbar, though. Leaves the goal to go for the boost. Well, that proved costly, as now Rw9 has all the time in the world, and he'll use that to fake Moxie not once, but twice, and win it 34 seconds in. Well, that's just brilliant, and I think this is what I was talking about earlier. He's not someone who takes chances, and when you're in a position like this, just let me pause for a second. Moxie has given him all the space to get up close and personal with 100 boost and the ball, well, 95 boost. I know somebody's going to correct me. And that really gives Rw9 all the options here. He could try and just quickly get into position and flick this top left. He could try and set up a shot that could go into the top shelf. He could, do all manner of things from this position that would result, that would rely on Moxie not reading his play. But does he do any of that? No. He just controls the 150. Threatens a near post shot and then mind games it in, really giving Moxie no opportunity to get what he wants here. Moxie just wants a volatile 50. He wants to get rid of that ball, but he just can't, because Rw9 has stayed away on the opposite side of it the entire time. Moxie leaves, but yeah, well played Rw9. Great win there against Moxie, and really showing that not all of the ultra mechanical and ultra talented youngsters coming up right now are neglecting strategy and mind games. Rw9 able to get Moxie not just in that last goal, but many times throughout this game. Now let's see how he does against one of the other top players in the world right now. For some people, the top player in the world right now is Rw9 against Rw9. So here we are on Neo Tokyo, another ranked 1v1 that Rw9 has sent me. It's up against Rw9, who will need no introduction to the vast majority of you guys right now. For me, the top dog at the moment. He is the guy to beat. He is ridiculously consistent, and he seems like he's just hit his stride with his offense recently, always having that world-class, honestly that out of this world-class defense to fall back on. So how will Dr. Known try to play Rw9 here? Fix a wall challenge. Instead, opts to fall off the ceiling to go for the interception. Dr. Known has an opportunity to slot it by Rw9, and that's exactly what he's done. Not a moment too late. Rw9 demoed him right after the shot left Dr. Known's front bumper there. And again, just going to highlight every time he does it, it's a positional goal against Rw9 there. Just like we saw in his game against Moxie before this. So many positional goals, so many little mind game victories eventually leading to goals for himself. He's done it again right there against Rw9. So no, probably going to confuse quite a few people here because he's in the blue car while being in the orange team. Rw9 is in the orange car while being in the blue team, but let's remember that as we go through this replay. Rw9 trying to sneak in an early challenge there. Dr. Known saw it coming. Ties the game. A big kickoff win there for Rw9. Keeps a nice bounce going. And he will low 50 past Dr. Known's pre-jump. Rw9 had all the cards there. And he pulled out a good one to get the goal lead back. Dr. Known with a big kickoff to the inside. Rw9 using all his boost, couldn't get back to it. 3-3. That's something Rw9 will have to cover on this next kickoff. So he'll want to get to the left of the ball here. Make sure to get a strong hit on it, and you saw that he actually missed his flip there. Tried to dive to the left of the ball, like I was saying, but he couldn't get back. So that was a bit of a mechanical mistake there from Rw9. He wanted to get goal side, knowing that that was where Dr. Known had capitalized on him in the previous kickoff, but he accidentally flipped the wrong way. Couldn't recover. 2 kickoff goals in a row for Dr. Known. Looks like Rw9 might be quickly getting back in touch though, and indeed he will. Hard hit to the backboard, left Dr. Known in an awkward position. Now here we are, back at the centre circle. It's been pretty even overall from the kickoffs. Of course, we've got those 2 kickoff goals for Dr. Known, but Rw9 has had plenty kickoff possessions as well. And the 2 might as well be the same at the highest level, given the strength of some players' kickoff possession play. Dr. Known will take the lead again. There's just solid 50-50 gameplay after manoeuvring a boost advantage in the back corner. Crazy in a matchup like this, calling Dr. Known the younger player. I mean, it feels like just yesterday I'm telling you guys about Rw9, this new 13-year-old wonder kid from Saudi Arabia. Now 2 years on, he's in RLCS, showing everybody what he can do and winning tournaments year on year. And along comes the next generation. Great mind game by Rw9. Dr. Known Flounders. I think he's pre-jumped maybe a few too many times in defense. He's got so much respect for Rw9, I'm sure, that he's always anticipating top corner shots and fast finishes from the top tier 1's talent that Rw9 is. One of the benefits of having the notoriety and the fame is even your opponents will know about that, and they overestimate you at their peril. Well, no boost there for Dr. Known to steal. He was just about a second too early on his exit. And Rw9 with a very nice takeoff into reset for the air dribble. Dr. Known stays with him the whole way. That's a big challenge win. He's wanting the boost respawn again, but for the second time in a row, he's a bit too early. So too early for the back corner boost steal. Now too early for the mid boost pickup. Even with a bit of slowing down to wait for it to spawn, it still wasn't there for him. Dr. Known a bit too early on the scene. He's tried to... oh, he has successfully bumped Rw9 over the top of the boost grab there, getting it for himself. Dr. Known wants that simple pop bump, but doesn't make contact with it. Rw9 is missing open net though. Well, that's a huge mistake from Rw9. Oh, it should have been a 2-goal lead. Remains at 1. Can he make up for it? Lean back into the 50-50. Resets as well, but Dr. Known stands strong in the way of it. His boost has ran dry though. Rw9 is in a wonderful position here. I think he knows Dr. Known's out of boost. Takes the ball to the sky again. Tries to place it low. What a save by Dr. Known though. And he might get a counter-attack opportunity. Has it got the power? Yes, it does. Well, that is wonderful from Dr. Known. Rw9 did all the right plays there. Took the ball to the sky where he knew Dr. Known couldn't follow. Shot the ball to the side. after realizing Dr. Known was diving off the underside of his own crossbar. Dr. Known was able to get down to the bottom corner. I mean, you can't fault Rw9 for shooting bottom corner. It really is the best place to shoot when your opponent's going for an in and out save a lot of the time. It's so difficult to get down and across the goal at the same time. Dr. Known, even while low on boost, managed to do it. Approaching the final minute now. Rw9 with a fake jump there. You could just hear it off the screen there. Dr. Known knew better than to fall for that one. Dr. Known giving away the possession, though. That's careless. No threat there. Rw9 just lets him make the play. A lot of boost being used here. Rw9 actually loses control, but that's a mistake from him again. Not for the first time this game. He has blundered a possession, and Dr. Known is the one to score the goal. He's up by 1 inside the final minute against Rw9 here. Like I said against Moxie, I'm not trying to trick anyone into thinking Dr. Known's got a massively winning record against Rw9, but he might win this one. Another air dribble bump attempted, and this one will work. Rw9 tried to fly over the top of it, and he couldn't get back down towards the ball. He is in big trouble. Dr. Known's simple double pop, double jump pop, and then bumps have looked deadly every single time he's gone for them. Rw9 tries to snipe one over to his head. I'll give him the boost seal and the back corner possession. Fake challenge from Dr. Known. Fake jump from Dr. Known. Rw9 has passed him, and he scores to come back within 1 with 20 seconds to go. And remember, Dr. Known's been very strong on the inside here. Rw9 would do well to cover that angle, and indeed he does. That will give him control of the following play. Unless Dr. Known can intercept it, and looks like he has. Rw9 trying to keep up with him. Dr. Known has robbed him of the possession. Rw9 rush challenge. He's back in control again. He's got 1 bounce to play with for the 0-second play, but Dr. Known's all over him. 8-7 win again. 2-7 wins. 1 against Moxie, 1 against Rw9. Phenomenal stuff from Dr. Known, but what a very interesting playstyle he's got. So positional, so smart with his 1v1 IQ, despite only being brand new to the high-level scene. I mean, this guy really is something special, so definitely keep an eye out for him. I know he's been featured in plenty 1v1 show matches and tournaments, but this is, I think, the first time that I've had him on my channel, unless I'm going crazy. Been trying for a while to get him in a show match, and I will definitely be trying to do that, because, yeah, he's such an interesting player, and he's on the grind now, trying to get as good as he can, trying to get as high level as he can in the last year he's got before he's old enough to play at RLCS. Really well played. Of course, Rw9 and Moxie are 2 of the best in the world, and I'm not trying to fool anyone here to making you think Dr. Known's better than Rw9 or Moxie. Of course he isn't. 2 ranked matches won't change that, but Dr. Known is a phenomenal talent. Shout out to him for sending me these replays and for showing off his very unique style. And, you know, I really will call it a unique style for a player his age. It seems to me like all of the other young players, or at least the vast majority of them, are just going a million miles an hour and just clipping on everybody whenever they can. It's all about mex, but Dr. Known showing that there are different styles, even with the newer generation. Can't wait to see what comes next for him. But yeah, can't wait to see what comes next for all the mechie players as well. It's great to see all the new talent coming up. And I'm sure inspired by players like Rw9, who was one of the most successful youngsters in the past. Still, I mean, I'm talking about him as if he's not a youngster. He still is. He's 15, I think. So he's... Oh, they're all so young. Why are they so good at the game? It's something that I'll never understand. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this one. Hopefully you enjoyed these ranked games. Shout out Dr. Known again for sending me these. And I'll see you all very soon, hopefully for some Dr. Known show match appearance in the not too distant future. And plenty more as well, content coming to the channel. So have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.